there. The time has come for us to take apart this temporary storage, the garage in the box that we put up back in the winter when we had to deal with the shed disaster, and free up some of this space. We have a contractor coming tomorrow to look at our pad, measure it up, and sometime soon we will start working on the foundation. Our campsite that we had there for last almost 9 months, we will dismantle that. The motorhome will go up where the tent is, and the whole path will be free for construction. Eventually we will also be moving the logs up to our new pad, the bigger pad. But today our job is to move everything out of this shed, out of this tent. So a lot of work never ends. Some of the wood from the tent will come down here, so it can be used during construction, and some of it will go down to our newly built gazebo that we finished last weekend, and that's where the boxes will also go. Mama managed to get all the boxes out here, open them so they can dry out. One of our favorite YouTube channels is Essential Craftsman. We learned a lot about different stages of construction, tips, tricks, do's and don'ts, but one of the most important things we learned is a piece of wisdom. 80% of construction is moving stuff. In our case, it's probably closer to 90%. We've been moving stuff up and down this hill for months now. And because we are such great planners, the spaces through which we move stuff are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. On the other hand, the spaces where we move stuff to have better roofs, if not walls. They also have more fresh air and better views. Our new gazebo, perfect for temporary storage number, I guess 3 now. So the boxes will go into this corner, if I remember the instructions correctly. And here we will have beautiful sitting area with the view of the lake. Outdoor living at its best. To make a storage room, a living room, more comfortable, let's give it something resembling a floor. This was also the first time we used our own milled wood for something other than just piling it up somewhere. There you go, floor like new. Speaking of piled wood, this is where moving stuff gets interesting. Let's say it's a bit different than moving just a bunch of boxes. So I can then lift the whole pile of wood with the tractor. That makes it sound like a good plan. Whether it is a good plan, we shall see. Collaboration is the key to success. But collaboration needs communication, and that looks like something we can work on. 5 minutes before it starts raining.
Okay. Taking bets? Nice.
Did I mention the tight spaces? Finally, the open-air living room is almost done.
I'm going to make lunch and
Yes, lunchtime.
you get everything else from the top.
Yes.
If it is not absolutely necessary to leave anything on the top, don't. Just get everything down as much as you can.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
All right.
Yes,
lunch.
ma'am, President.
For the second time this year, we are taking apart our storage space to make room for better and bigger things to come. The last time, the shed collapsed for reasons we can only speculate about. Probably snow. This time, the cause of things falling apart is quite clear.
So almost everything is moved. The last thing that remains is the wood here. We'll try to do it all in one shot.
And here is where things got, let's say, interesting. It turns out my guesstimate of how much the pile of wood weighed was a bit off. That the tractor didn't really want to lift it all at once should have been a red flag and a signal for me to stop and think. But it wasn't.
Cindy, come! Why is it tilted? Leo, who would say? But it must happen now! Cindy, come! Good.
That didn't quite work out the way I hoped. I guess we are really pushing the load limit for the tractor, and the front right wheel is softer, so it started leaning really dangerously. So I had to drop it, and the rest is manual work. Oh, now we can't even leave.
We wanted to avoid having to carry all that wood piece by piece to its new location. Once again, theory and practice didn't quite agree with each other. The good news is, if the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results, we may actually not be quite insane. We learned a valuable lesson that day. Bit by bit, we were able to move things to make room for the really big machines to do the really hard work, of making more room for the RV and for our future work campsite.
Almost last bit. I am very pleased how the wood situation turned out that we put it here, and somehow we managed not to break the tractor. And last but not least, we need to sort these things out, make sure the area is clear. Finally, the last pieces of the wood and the remains of the shed are gone. The area is clear. We'll still move a lot of this fill somewhere else, so this whole area will open up a little bit more, which will be nice. Then we will move the wood to the big pad and things can start happening.
At the end of our stay, we were rewarded by a short glimpse of a local resident. As we were leaving our little piece of paradise, we wondered how many other furry creatures we will encounter on our adventure, and how we can do our best to build our homestead with minimal impact on the magnificent wildlife with whom we share this land. Thanks for watching. We are of Gridbound.